When researchers studied thousands of men over 60, they found that those who failed this simple ground game test had a dramatically lower life expectancy. This is not about peak performance, it is about maintaining functional independence. Strategic, foundational movement is the most powerful prescription you have for a longer, more capable life. We are training for life, the kind of life where you can still hoist a heavy suitcase or stand up quickly after playing with a grandchild. Today, we dive into the foundational five essential strength moves every man over 60 must prioritize. These are not complex. They are simple, evidence-based movements that directly counteract the leading causes of injury, fragility, and physical decline in later life. We focus on stabilizing your core, improving control, and preserving the mobility that predicts long-term health. The challenge for most men in this phase is making a critical shift. Routines focused only on cardio or heavy isolation lifts ignore the stability and flexibility we lose first. The result? Joint pain, tweaked backs, and frustrating stops and starts. We must stop training the spectacular and start training the essential. Think of these 5 movements as your insurance policy against a fragile future. They are designed to bulletproof your joints and safeguard your mobility for the next 20 years. Before we jump into the moves, remember the critical ground game test I mentioned? That test, the single best predictor of longevity, is the most important, and we will break down exactly how to score yourself right after move number 4. If you appreciate this kind of science-backed, practical approach to aging, take a moment now and subscribe to Man in Motion. We focus exclusively on proven routines that truly work for men over 60. We start with the root cause of most chronic pain, lower back issues. If stiffness makes bending over a chore, or if you constantly tweak your back reaching for something, you are missing move number 1, the hip hinge. The hip hinge teaches your body how to pivot at the hips instead of rounding your lower spine whenever you need to lift or reach. Consider lifting groceries from the car. Most men slightly bend the knees, round the back, and use small, weak spinal muscles to lift the load. That risks acute injury. The hinge reroutes the stress. It engages your glutes and hamstrings, the largest, strongest muscles in your body, to handle the weight. To execute a perfect hip hinge, stand tall, keep your chest high, and slightly unlock your knees. Imagine your tailbone is pulling back toward a wall. Slowly push your hips backward, maintaining a straight, rigid line from your head down to your tailbone. You should feel tension in the back of your legs, never your lower back. Only lower yourself as far as you can maintain that perfect straight spine. Then, drive your hips forward to return to standing. This is a pure hip movement. Your knees should barely change position. But how do you know if you are hinging correctly or just cheating? Practice using a broomstick or a PVC pipe laid across your back. The stick must touch your head, your upper back, and your tailbone simultaneously. If the stick loses contact with any of those 3 points while you hinge, you are rounding your back. You must fix this form before adding weight. Mastery of the hinge means your lower back is protected for every functional movement in life. Do 3 sets of 10 repetitions daily until the movement feels completely natural. Our second essential movement addresses the most immediate indicator of long-term independence. Move number 2 is the goblet squat. If you struggle to stand up from a deep chair without pushing off with your hands, you have lost a critical measure of functional health. Researchers use the ability to stand up unaided as a vital sign because it tests the integrated strength of your quads, glutes, and core, the primary muscles that dictate independence. The goblet squat is the perfect squat variation for men over 60 because it corrects the most common form error, falling forward. How does holding a weight actually make the squat safer for your back and knees? By holding a small weight close to your chest, you create a counterbalance. This shifts your center of gravity backward, allowing you to sit down more easily between your heels. It forces you to stay upright, preventing the spine from rounding. To start, hold a dumbbell or kettlebell vertically against your chest. Take a shoulder-width stance, toes slightly pointed out. Initiate the movement by imagining you are sitting down into a low chair. Keep your chest up and push your knees out over your toes. Go down slowly, under control, until your thighs are parallel to the floor, or as low as you can comfortably go without pain. Pause for 1 second at the bottom, then drive back up, squeezing your glutes at the top. If you have specific knee or hip pain, scale the movement. Place a sturdy box or chair behind you. Sit down softly and immediately stand back up. Do not rest at the bottom. This ensures you maintain control and only move through a pain-free range. If you can perform 10 perfect, controlled goblet squats, you have mastered the fundamental movement required to maintain your independence and pass that critical chair test. Next up is move number 3, the farmer's carry. This looks deceptively simple, like just walking while holding weights, but it is one of the most powerful full-body stability exercises available. Why is carrying 2 heavy objects the best exercise you aren't doing? The benefits extend far beyond your arms. The farmer's carry directly addresses 2 crucial health factors. First, grip strength. Decades of research have linked powerful grip strength to better cardiovascular health and longer lifespans. It serves as an easy, external indicator of internal vitality. Second, and crucially for men over 60, the carry trains anti-sway stability in your core. When you carry heavy, uneven weights, your deep core muscles must engage violently to prevent you from tilting side to side. This anti-lateral stability is paramount for preventing falls. To perform this, use 2 equally weighted objects. Dumbbells, kettlebells, or heavy water jugs work fine. Choose a weight that makes holding the object difficult but not painful. Stand tall, pull your shoulders back and down, and walk slowly and deliberately for 30 to 60 seconds. Do not let your body lean toward the weights. Your core should feel tight and engaged, resisting the downward pull. This looks like a simple walk, but what crucial, unseen muscle is working hardest when you carry those weights? The small, deep muscles in your torso. If you struggle with balance, use lighter weights and focus on slow, perfect foot placement. The objective is maximizing time under tension for the grip and core, not covering distance. Incorporating the farmer's carry 3 times a week significantly boosts the strength of your hands and stabilizes your torso, making you far less likely to lose balance when you need it most. We are now approaching the final strength move before we tackle the life expectancy test. Move number 4 is the push-up progression. When was the last time you trained the muscles that stop you from breaking a bone? The purpose of the push-up for older adults is not vanity, but resilience and bone health. Push-ups train the ability to catch yourself when you fall. If you trip, the reflex is to brace yourself with outstretched hands. If your arms, shoulders, and chest are too weak to absorb your body weight, the impact travels straight to your wrists and elbows, often resulting in serious fractures. The push-up trains the upper body structure to handle that sudden, heavy load safely. If you trip and fall tomorrow, what is the fastest way to avoid a wrist or hip fracture? The answer lies in the controlled deceleration of this movement. Many men over 60 feel they cannot do a traditional push-up, and that is fine. We use progressions. Start with the wall push-up. Stand arm's length from a wall and lean in. This places minimal load on the joints. If that feels easy, progress to an incline push-up using a sturdy desk or kitchen counter. This reduces the load but forces your core to brace against gravity. Your goal is 8 to 10 repetitions with a perfect straight line from your head to your heels, no sagging in the hips. Whether you stop at the wall or the counter, spend your energy mastering the incline version. Focus especially on controlling the lowering movement, the eccentric phase, which is proven to build strength and tendon resilience. This ensures that when you need to brace yourself, your upper body can handle the impact without structural failure. Now we close our first loop and reveal the pivotal longevity test, move number 5, the sitting-rising test, or the ground game. The sitting-rising test, SRT, was validated by researchers globally as a powerful predictive marker. This single test measures integrated strength, balance, coordination, and flexibility. It is more telling than many traditional health metrics because it demands full functional control. The scoring is simple. You begin standing, scoring 10 points. Your goal is to lower yourself to the floor and then rise back up again, using as few support points as possible. Every time you touch a hand, knee, forearm, or the side of your leg to the floor for support, you lose 1 point. If you wobble or lose balance, you lose half a point. A perfect 10 means you lowered yourself to a seated position and then stood back up using only your feet for contact. If you use a hand for stability, score of 9, and then push up with a hand on the way out, score of 8, that's an 8. Scores of 8 or better are excellent and strongly associated with a longer, healthier lifespan. Scores below 6 are strongly correlated with a significantly increased risk of mortality over the following decade. This test is revealing because it exposes the weak links in your chain. If you score low, do not be discouraged. It is valuable feedback. It tells you exactly where you must focus your training, on the squats, the hip hinges, and the stability from the carries. The SRT is not just a diagnostic test, it is a movement you must train. By practicing getting safely down and back up from the floor, you are preparing your body for a critical scenario. If you fall and cannot get up, that leads to immediate and often catastrophic medical consequences. Training the ground game is literally training for survival and independence. Start practicing near a sturdy chair or couch. Use the support to lower yourself, and then slowly reduce your reliance on that external support over weeks and months. Your goal is to move from relying on furniture to relying only on your internal strength. We've covered the foundational 5 movements: the hinge, the goblet squat, the farmer's carry, the push-up progression, and the sitting rising test. Now we implement them. We are closing Open Loop 2 and giving you the exact 15-minute routine structure. The greatest value in this routine is consistency, not intensity. You only need to perform these foundational 5 movements 3 days a week on non-consecutive days. For example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. On the days in between, focus on walking and gentle mobility. For each of the first 4 strength moves, your target is 3 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions. For the farmer's carry, aim for 3 sets of 30 to 60 seconds. For the sitting rising test, perform 4 controlled, focused repetitions, emphasizing perfect form. How do you fit this into 15 minutes? Use a circuit format. After a light dynamic warm-up, perform 1 set of the hip hinge. Rest 60 seconds. Then 1 set of the goblet squat. Rest 60 seconds. Continue this cycle through the first 4 moves, then return to the hip hinge for the second set, and so on. This keeps your heart rate elevated and the session efficient. Listen to your body. We are training longevity. If a full range of motion causes pain, immediately reduce the range. Pain is the body's alarm signal. If it rings, stop. For example, if the goblet squat hurts your knees, limit the depth until your thighs are only halfway down. If you need more challenge, you can increase the weight slightly on the carries or the squat, or slow the repetitions down to a 4-second lowering phase. Adaptation and smart scaling are key to successful, long-term exercise in your 60s and beyond. These 5 movements are the minimum viable effort for men serious about maintaining independence and vigor. They are backed by evidence, focus on functional strength, and require minimal equipment. They directly address the decline in stability, mobility, and resilience that most men experience later in life. You are not just building muscle, you are building armor against injury and the loss of personal freedom. The greatest hurdle to fitness is often psychological. It is the belief that you are too old or that serious physical decline is inevitable. It is not. You have the power to influence your trajectory today. Start small, be consistent, and track your progress, especially on that sitting rising test. Watch your score improve over the next 3 months. That is the measurable difference this routine provides. If you found this evidence-based breakdown helpful and you're ready to implement this kind of practical routine, hit the like button now. Your support tells us to keep producing this content. If you want more science-backed routines that actually work for men over 60, subscribe to Man in Motion and ring the notification bell. Take these 5 foundational moves, use the simple routine we laid out, and start investing in your strongest, most independent future. Do not wait for the decline. Invest in the freedom you will enjoy tomorrow.